Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Lancaster Archery. Got a product video for you today. We wanted to tell you about the VaporTrail GI8. This is going to be the Integr8 VaporTrail drop-away rest. Now, VaporTrails, this is a limb-driven rest, and as you buy it, it's going to come so that you're going to activate it with the top limb. There's an extra bracket that you can buy to change it to bottom limb, but as it comes to you, it's going to be set up to be driven from the top limb. We'll show you that in a second here, but we wanted to keep the rest off the bow so we can show you some of the features. So with this arm here, VaporTrail says it's going to support your arrow for 70% of the string movement, the string path after you release it. It's going to be held up 70% of that distance before the arrow is released. So that just lets you know that it's going to have the stability. It's going to go where you want it to go. Now inside here there is a rubber pad. So what that does is that just makes this rest quiet. You know, that rubber contacting the rest as you pull it down in here, there's not a click, you know, from metal on metal. Just offers that buffer there so it's not as loud. You do have full containment, and this is all rubber as well, so your arrow is going to be completely contained. In the pack, you are going to get this pad here. This is going to be what you're going to connect to the top limb of your bow, and you're going to connect your cord into these spikes. That's going to hold it in place to keep it from moving. Now this pad here, this mounts on the shelf of your bow. That's going to sit right here so that when you have an arrow nocked, your arrow of course is going to sit in this little cup right there until you draw. Remember, this is a limb-driven rest, so as you draw back, that's when the arm comes up. So at full draw is when this will be in the raised position, so it will lift it up out of this cup. But you're going to connect this on your shelf here to hold it for when the arrow is at rest, when the bow is at rest. All right, now your adjustments, very simple. You're going to have your windage down here. This is going to be, you're going to watch this side of the rest mount. You can see that it slides. You can see all those white lines in there, so you can get your center shot perfectly set. You've got these lines here to guide you as you get it. Of course, you know you're probably going to want with 13/16 the center of your arrow from the riser, and then this is how you're going to move that. Once you get it to where you want it, just come back here and lock that down, and then that's not moving anywhere. Now for your elevation, that's going to be on the side here. You're going to have this screw. I just loosen that. And then I will be able to slide this rest up and down. You can see that moving there. Again, we'll put it on the bow to show you all this, but we wanted to show you off the bow. It's just a little simpler. So those are going to be your adjustments. And then right here, what this one is, this is where you're going to install your draw cord. So I would loosen that up in there. And then I can take this. You can see the little arrow shows you which way to install this. All you need to do is get this cord in behind that screw. Clamp it down, and now this is how my rest is going to function, like that. And then of course, once you get, you know, your end tied in here, then you can tighten it here. You can pull this cord to make sure you get everything tight. So, but let's put it on the bow. As we mentioned, this is the GI8 Integr8. So what this is meant for is, you can see my connection points here. This is meant for those bows that have the Integr8 dovetail mounted onto the back of the bow. So I'm just going to take the dovetail grabbers right there, and I'm going to put it on the bow. make sure I've got it in there. Once I've got it positioned, then I can tighten down. This is my locking screw right there. Okay, got that locked into place. You know, and now is when I can do my center shot. Slide it in there, and then I can get my measurements for elevation and for windage, make sure that everything's good. Once I have it, it's locked into place. But as I mentioned, you know, this is where I'm going to work with these adjustments to move it left and right. That's my windage. To get my distance from the riser right. Lock that down. So as we mentioned then, I'm going to run the cord to the upper limb right here. I've got my limb pad, and that's how it works. It's going to sit like that. All right, so you can see I've attached my limb pad up here pretty close to the axle. That's where I like to set it when I'm working with one of these types of rests. And then I just do a series of simple overhand knots stacked one on top of the other. 3 or 4 of them, actually 4 or 5, and you know it's not going to move. Once you've got those stacked in there, you can see that that's not going anywhere. That's nice and solid. So then I can come down here and tighten my cord. Hold that nice and tight. So now you can see my launcher pad is held down, and then if you watch as I draw this bow, you'll see the rest come up. So that is the functionality of a limb-driven rest. You know, as the limbs flex, that rest is going to rise up, and then when you release the string, the limbs snap back and pulls that rest down and out of the way. Some folks just prefer a limb-driven rest. They think it's a little more reliable and a little more precise than cable-driven. If that's what you prefer, limb-driven rest, the VaporTrail definitely is going to do that for you. All right, so that is the VaporTrail GI8 Gen Integr8 Arrow Rest, limb-driven drop-away rest from the folks at VaporTrail. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like it, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to click that bell to get notifications whenever we put out new videos. And as always, if you have any questions, you can visit us at lancasterarchery.com.